So what we're going to do in this session really is going to talk about patient safety. This is very interactive. So we're going to look at some scenarios. These are actual cases from different parts of the world that we put together. And I'm going to go through a few slides, and at different steps, we're going to stop, pause, and have interactions. And Dr. Hari Prasad's got a mic, and he's going to keep moving around the hall. So anyone who wants to make a comment, has a point, has an observation, has a question, please raise your hand, and we'll get to you and see what you have to say about these important issues. Okay, so let's get cracking. Case number 1, Miss RP, 51-year-old lady, has a breast lump, gets admitted to the hospital for a biopsy, right? Happens all the time, happens in many hospitals. The biopsy is taken and the specimen is collected in a sterile bowl. The circulating nurse keeps the specimen on the side table. Post-procedure, the nurse keeps the specimen along with another specimen from Mrs. RS. She generates the patient label, prepares the container, labels the container, inserts the specimen into the labeled container. The specimen is sent to the lab. And what does the lab find? They find that the specimen is from a thyroid nodule and not the breast tissue as the form said. Right? Now, has this happened to anyone in this hall? Yeah, could we have a show of hands? Come on, come on. This happens. It happens. Yeah, so about 10, 15 show of hands, right? So what went wrong? Hari, you want to ask people what went wrong?
Yeah, wrong labeling. There were a few who put their hands up. Let's ask them what they did. I saw you putting your hand up. You can stand up and talk.
I'm Saroja, and it was utter mislabeling of the specimen. And the circulating nurse, having mislabeled the thyroid sample as the breast nodule sample and sent it to the lab. The error is mislabeling the sample.
Mislabeling the sample. Anyone wants to add anything other than mislabeling the sample?
Misidentification also.
Misidentification. So misidentification, mislabeling. Anyone? Hari, yeah. We have someone at the back. Yeah, we've got a couple of hands. So we've got mislabeling.
You can stand up. Those who want to speak should stand up. And don't hesitate to speak. It happens all the time. You want to speak here? Yeah. I'm coming to you.
Samples are exchanged.
So, sample was exchanged.
It has not come to her notice that she is exchanged.
So what's the problem? Is it mislabeling?
No, she should have been ready with a label, and as the sample is collected, she should have collected it and sent it to the lab.
Okay, so the moment she collected the sample, she should have sent it. She should not have waited. So we've got wrong labeling, we've got misidentification of the patient, and the fact that the sample was sitting there for a while.
I know these specimen, they are taken by a ward boy, who is generally an illiterate. So he might have collected some other specimen also. So whatever he collects, he will take it and it gets misplaced.
So where's the problem? The problem is that we have someone who's illiterate who's done this?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a literacy problem as well. Okay, what else?
My request is not to use those mics, which I put there. Wait for me.
Yeah, please go back to Hari, because otherwise we'll break the chain.
Otherwise there will be a chaos here.
Yeah, so there's Hari. You can't miss him.
I'll make sure everybody gets a chance. Yeah, go ahead.
It's maybe the knowledge of the staff. The staff may not be knowing before the collection of the sample, they have not labeled properly. This may be the one.
Okay, knowledge. There we go.
It might be possible that patient identification.
Sorry, who's that?
Clear.
Who's speaking from where?
Yes.
It would be better to pre-label the container.
Okay.
If the container is pre-labeled, then whether a literate guy carries it or an illiterate guy carries it doesn't make a difference really.
Okay,
it should be pre-labeled.
Fine. Yeah. So
thank you.
We had a container which was not pre-labeled.
It might be possible that patient identification was wrong. Patient was admitted for biopsy breast lump, but he might have been, or surgeon might have been taken the biopsy from the thyroid itself.
Yeah, but remember there are 2 patients there. Okay, interesting. Okay,
Very interesting, but can we keep that mic away? Keep the mic away. We use one mic.
Yeah, just one mic with Hari, and that's the last question, and then we get into.
match the specimen to the label.
Okay, so I think the points.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the container was not pre-labeled, which it should have been. The unlabeled specimen was kept along with another specimen, something that should never be done. There was mislabeling of 2 samples because of the common first name, and the 2 patient identifiers were not used, and that's why all this problem happened. So how can this be prevented? Anyone wants to come out with suggestions on how can this be prevented? Hari's coming with the mic.
Hello, I'm Manjula. We can prevent this by implementing surgical safety checklist.
Okay, well, we've gone a little beyond the sample to surgical safety checklist, but yes, we'll talk about that because we'll come to surgical safety as well.
In the checklist, we have this sign-out column.
Sure. Absolutely, it's one component of that.
There is a specimen labeling, the person responsible for specimen labeling, everything will be there in that.
Sure.
Great.
Okay.
She has something.
If surgeon verifies the specimen, acknowledges on the specimen container, these problems could be avoided.
Okay, so better communication.
I'm Dr. Shakila Shetty from Ramaya. The best way to avoid all these problems is the person who is doing the surgery, especially the small biopsies, you can take the container and, like somebody said, pre-labeled. But even the pre-labeled, if we have inbuilt stickers from the hospital,
yes,
the name and the number remains the same. In case there are 2 names, it's better to identify that patient by her husband's name. If those 2 are also same,
a lot of people might have an issue with the husband's name in today's world.
And also, you can identify them from the place where they come from. This happens with blood transfusion very often.
Of course.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Kishore Murthy. I think the best answer for prevention is training.
Yes.
Training of the staff before they are let into the operation theatre.
So I think a lot of themes are coming through which always happens.
Anupam.
Yeah, Hari.
I saw hands up from some people who experienced this actually. Can I see those hands up again?
See now, the number of hands have decreased. Yeah, there we have Usha Banerjee with a hand.
Usha is there. So what I'm going to ask is, while we talk about prevention, what was actually done for that case? How did you come out of that crisis?
Well, I think it's a whole lot of training issue that we face with in terms of incidents like this. And I think how did we come out of the crisis is, I think, if the lab has reported this correctly, and hope we did in this particular case, they picked it up.